All right, all right. Happy day. Welcome to another wonderful day and wonderful Wednesday. Might be Thursday or Friday or Monday or Tuesday for you, but it's a Wednesday when this is happening. Yes. All right. So we're going to continue I call it our Greek Olympic journey here because the Olympics, they started in ancient Greece. This is going to be fun. We'll call this part 3 and we'll call it the Golden Age. Now, you got to know what a golden age is first before you get into this. But this is in Greece, and any golden age anywhere, we're going to enter a time period where think of prosperity, think of peace, think of thriving of art and intellectual movement. People are going to be building some cool buildings no matter where you are in a golden age. You're going to be lots of food, lots of jobs, lots of opportunity. It's the best of that empire. That's a golden age. Well, now we are entering this time period, the golden age. Now, look, everybody, take a little time and look at that picture. Is that creepy or what? Look at them eyeballs. Yes. A lot of new statues and stuff like that. It's going to be amazing. We call this classical art. We'll get that into a second. All right, let's get this golden age rolling. All right, so first, you need to know, who did it start with? I like to look at this guy, before I show you his name, I like to look at him as the George Washington of ancient Greece. His name is Pericles. Check out that hat. Is that not cool? Looks like he has 2 heads, 4 eyeballs, 2 noses. It's really cool. Anyways, we call him the wise and able statesman. That means he's in politics. He's going to be their leader. He'll be like their president. And he will lead them through this golden age. And because of his philosophy of how to live, which you'll see in a minute, and what he does when it comes to building, it's going to really encourage this golden age and golden opportunity for everybody. All right, here we go. So here's his philosophy, okay? So Pericles, he had 3 goals. And look, if you want anything in your life, you got to set some goals. You got to set them. You set your goal, you make your plan, you get to work, you stick to it, and boom, you'll reach your goal. But if you don't have any goals, where are you going? What are you doing? You're just wandering in this life around, and maybe you hit something good, but most of the time you hit something bad. So I challenge you, find some goals in your life. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Don't be like a leaf in the wind, blowing around and just landing in different places. So check it out. This is what he wanted. First thing is to strengthen Athenian democracy. He wanted more people involved. He wanted to hold and strengthen the empire. He didn't want anybody to come in and take it over. And last thing, he wanted to glorify Athens with beauty. And you'll see what he does with that. It's awesome. All right. So to strengthen democracy, Pericles, what he'll do is he'll increase the number of people that are being paid. Okay? He's going to increase the number of folks that are going to be paid. All right. So let me see if I can get this fixed up real quick. We lost our code up there. Give me a second. 3EQ8S. How did that happen? It's happened a couple times. So cast it up there. Yeah. So he's going to increase. All right. So he's going to increase the number of people that are in the government that are being paid. Now you got to think about this. Who does that help? If you're rich, does it matter if you're getting paid or not? No. So being in government is not that big a deal. But if you are poor, yeah, this is gonna help you. So now you can have an average person, a person of means or of salary can go into politics and be a part of the government, help make decisions for everybody. Good job, Pericles. All right. Now, so what do we call this form of government that he has? Okay. He has what's going to be called a direct democracy. Today, we have in America a democracy, but it's really not at all. We have what's called a representative democracy. We go and vote for people, and then they make the decisions for us. You don't get to vote on laws. Good or bad, you don't get to vote on them unless you're in politics. You've been picked. All right, well, they had a direct democracy. Everybody had a say. Everybody got to vote in Athens. All right, here we go. So this is actually a quote of Pericles, and this is pretty cool. Quotes, these are his words. Think about this. This guy's speaking to us 2,500 years later. Now watch this. He said this. I'll try to be a Pericles voice. Our Constitution is called a democracy because the power is in the hands not of a minority. Not of a minority. Does anybody know what he's talking about there? He's talking about it's not just a few rich people that are making all the laws, but the whole people. Everybody gets to decide how they live their lives and what laws they will follow. Democracy is amazing. What's the alternative? Better watch out. Let's go. All right. So let's quicken the pace just a little bit. So they were in the Persian War. All right. They defeated the Persians. And so Athens made this organization called the Delian League. Not that important to know a word about like this, but what he does is he creates an organization that raises money. It's a fundraising opportunity. And he ends up creating a really, really strong navy. You see Navy up there. So he can help control the sea and beat those Persians back from ever coming again. All right. So this is one of the buildings that he built. Look at the building. Please look at it. There's one of them actually in Nashville, Tennessee. This was to glorify Athens and honor one of their gods, Athena. She is in it. It's called the Parthenon. You know the Parthenon? Has anybody gone to Nashville to see this? I've got one hand up. Yes, it's beautiful. It's amazing. Go in there. I think it'll cost you like $10. Go in there, check it out. It's a replica of the real Parthenon, which is dilapidated and breaking down today, but still beautiful and wonderful. And you can thank Pericles for having this built. All right. So during this golden age, you'll have all these. Check this out. You'll have this new type of art that comes about. We will call it classical art because this is going to last forever. I remember being over here, and you see this right there? All right. This is still amazing. You walk up to this, it's twice the size of a man. This is like 2 times the size. You go look at it, and you're like, wow. And people have literally been wowed and said the word wow for 2,000 years looking at this thing. This is classical. It will last longer than anything that you and I are creating today. It already has. All our musics that we listen to now will fade away. All right, but not this stuff. It's going to be here forever as long as we don't destroy it. Here we go. It's classical art. Also, during this time, people will start to really get into drama. And y'all know about drama. Y'all in middle school. Can I hear you, girls? Y'all know about drama? Yeah, I hear you, ladies. Y'all know about some drama. Some of you boys do too, you big-haired boys. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so check it. They started it. Drama's been around a lot longer than y'all have. Y'all did not perfect it because they did already. Check it out. So one type of drama that came up is called a tragedy. Yes, it'll be about love and hate and war and betrayal and jealousy and all that good stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all would like this tragedy stuff. Y'all like that drama. All right, there's another type of drama. This is the stuff that I think you would like. But I don't know if you'd understand it right at first. It's really intelligent, right? But not intelligent at all. I know that sounds really, really weird. Comedy. They created comedy. They created laughing out loud. All right. And when I think of slapstick comedy, I think of like the Three Stooges. Anybody ever seen the Three Stooges in here? Yeah, I see some hands going up. Yep. Where they're hitting each other in the face, doing goofy things and all that. Well, the Greeks created that. Thank you, Greeks, for creating that. Keeping life simple and lighthearted. It's amazing. Thank you. All right. Now, to bring the golden age to an end, though, there's always going to be somebody that's jealous of what's going on in Athens. All right. We're going on in a good place. War is going to happen. Now, I like to look at this as civil war. All right. Check it out. Civil war. That means the same people fighting each other. But it's not civil war because it's not a country. It's 2 different, totally different places. All right. It's called the Spartans and the Athens, who are going to fight each other in this war. The Spartans are going to start it. Check out the pictures. You'll see what the Spartans would have looked like. Okay. We call this war between the Athenians and the Spartans, it's called the Peloponnesian Wars. I don't know why, but my brain, it thinks of that sauce from Chick-fil-A. Anybody know what I'm talking about, the sauce from Chick-fil-A? Not the Chick-fil-A sauce, but their Polynesian sauce. How many of y'all like the Polynesian sauce? Oh, if you hadn't had it, you know what I'm talking about, huh? It's like finger licking good. It's so good. Yeah. You can sit there and it's so good. Anyways, but it makes me think of that. I don't know why. We call it the Peloponnesian Wars. This is the civil war between Athens and Sparta. All right, here we go. So the war goes on. 2 years of fighting, all right, in between the polises or city-states. And what happened is they're like, hey, we got to stop fighting for a little while. They have a truce. Well, Sparta does not hold up to that truce, so they start fighting again. and fighting and fighting. For 9 years of fighting now, and just what happens? Athens is going to be burnt down, totally destroyed. Sparta is winning this thing. All right. Actually, what happens is a plague comes into Athens. A bunch of people die from this disease. Sparta comes in, takes over the opportunity, and the war ends up ending actually with Sparta victorious. But because Sparta is not, a democracy and a military state thriving through all this stuff, the Athenians are going to last much, much longer. And there you go. All right. So in Athens, you're going to have these people that are extremely influential and amazing and still important today. Y'all need to step into these people. First, all right. These people, we call them philosophers. I like to look at them as this. These people think for a living. You want to hire anybody for a job? Hire someone that thinks for a living. They wake up in the morning, they think. They're just not like an animal. Like, give me some food. Let me find something. That's what animals do. They wake up, they think about food. All right. These guys think for a living. We call them philosophers. Some will think in really great ways. Others will not. But at least they're doing it. Think while you can. While it's still free, do that. Please think for yourselves. All right, here we go. All right, there'll be a group of philosophers. They're called the Sophists. Not that important to know, but what they did is, check it out. They got people to question their own beliefs about law or justice or government and their own values. Okay, they're called the Sophists. Here's one of them. His name is Herodotus. All right, now the most famous of all the philosophers. All right, a lot of people call him Socrates. That's not the way you pronounce it. This one you need to pronounce the way it's pronounced. His name is Socrates. Yes, this is the man, the myth, the legend, the one that started it all. And what he did is he wandered around the streets and he would question everybody. Be like, hey, what do you think about this law? Hey, what do you think about these gods? Hey, what do you think about that? Now, why do you think that? Oh, really? Well, why do you think that? Well, what about this? And he got people to question, and he really did it to the kids. All right, he said this one quote. Check this out. The unexamined life. Think about your life for a minute. You think about what you're doing with your life, or you just wake up like an animal? Give me something to eat. I'm going to go to sleep and wake up and get something to eat. I'm going to go to sleep and wake up and get something to eat. Or what are you doing with your life? He's saying that type of life is not even worth living. Man, he had people hitting them right in the heart, right in the stomach. Okay? So time goes on. The people that actually didn't like him because they got him to think. People were having to think. Look what they did. He was put at a jury and they condemned him to death. The Greeks didn't like him. He had to drink this poison from a tree called the hemlock tree. Anybody ever heard of a hemlock? There's some around here. There's not a lot, but that thing can be poisonous, yes. That's what happened to Socrates. Now, remember that first letter, S. Socrates. We're about to spell a word to remember these three philosophers. First, there's Socrates. Okay? Now, check this out. He also, I just talked about it. He asked these series of questions. He said, look at this quote of his. I love these quotes. He said this. There is only one good. That is knowledge. Yeah. Knowledge is good. Knowledge cannot be bad. But he said there's one evil, and that is ignorance. If you don't try to remedy ignorance, he's saying that's evil. Come on now. Go and figure out things. If you are ignorant, that means you don't know something about something. Go and figure it out. And you'll have knowledge, and that is good. You can do something with that. That's Socrates. All right. One of his students, all right, his name was Plato. S.P. Socrates, Plato. All right. So he wrote down the conversations he had with Socrates, all right, and he ended up writing a book called The Republic. Y'all see that down there, The Republic? You ever heard that word before? Yeah, it's about government. It's what we call our government today, a republic. And we'll base a lot of our government on what's in that book that was written 2,000 years ago, actually older than that. Is that not amazing? So Socrates, Plato is the next philosopher. All right. This guy started a school called the Academy. Elementary schools used to be called academies. He said this, philosophy begins in wonder, and that is Plato also. This is supposed to be funny. If you look at the picture, it's called a political cartoon. Anybody, get it? Yeah, maybe it's not funny. All right, here we go. And the last person we want to look at today, the student of Plato, I want you to know, his name is Aristotle. And Aristotle is famous for a lot of things, but probably the most famous thing Aristotle is famous for is being the teacher that most influenced, who will be our last topic of the year on Greece, Alexander the Great. Now, before we get to the very end here, all right, we're looking at Aristotle. We just spelled a word, S-P-A. What word is that? Can y'all say it? S-P-A. I think I hear it. Spa. That's right. So that's how you can remember who was the teacher, who was the student. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and then Alexander the Great will be the student of Aristotle. So that's why I like to say spa. And that's where it'll take us to our last section there. That'll be good. Questions, comments, real remarks. You guys are amazing. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next video.